Hey guys, Von here, wellness coach with Von, and I'm a personal trainer as well if you don't know who I am. So this week with B, we are talking about being a visionary, and starting off the year, this is so important to be a visionary. It is so important to be looking ahead of the things that we hope and desire to come for this year. We needing to know what we are looking forward to, what we are working towards, having those goals set up in place. So this week we're going to be talking about being a visionary. So looking at the things that you want to come to pass. So what I want to encourage you to be doing is to have a moment, whether it's a quiet place that you can go to, somewhere where you're relaxing, whether it's a special place in your garden, whether it's a special place in your house, down the beach, in the bush, by a river, wherever it is, somewhere where you can sit and you can just be quiet in yourself, be quiet in your surroundings, not being distracted by the kids running around or what is going on around you, but a place where you can just sit there and have a moment to think about what it is you would like 2023 to be for you, and allow yourself to dream. It is okay to dream. And you know what, when we stop ourselves from dreaming, as kids, right, we start off, kids are like, man, I want to be an astronaut, or I want to be a mechanic, or I want to be I want to be the next Tony Stark. That's one thing one of my boys used to say when he was little. I want to be the next Tony Stark, and create really cool things like he did. He used to say that every time he was growing up, people would go, oh, so what do you want to do when you're older? And he goes, I want to be the next Tony Stark. And people used to laugh at him, but you know what? I remind him of this. And now that he's older, he still wants to be an engineer, not necessarily a Tony Stark. But it's like, man, don't let people crush your dreams. Dream big like we used to when we were kids. Just because we're getting older doesn't mean you can't dream big. Dreams are free, but you got to work for them to make them happen. Okay, so allow yourself to envision what this year is going to hold for you. What is it that you want to accomplish in this year? Okay, now being a visionary isn't just looking for this year. We're looking beyond. We're looking, in 5 years, 10 years. And, that is a really big vision. I've got visions of where I would like to be business-wise, establishments that I would like to have. And I even had one of my boys turn around and goes, Mum, you're just dreaming way too big. And it's like, nah, you don't get to say that. No one gets to tell you that your dreams are too big, because no dream is too big, okay? You can achieve anything you want. So what is it that you want, okay? This is a time where, if you have ever done vision boards are really cool, especially if you're a very crafty, creative person. I love being creative. It's something I don't get time to do a lot of, but when I sit down and I do a vision board, it's my favorite time, because I just sprawl out on the lounge room floor when my kids aren't home. I've got magazines and I've got printouts and I've got pictures and I've got quotes and all those sort of things. And I sit there go, what is it that I want to achieve? And I put on there things that I want in 5-10 years time, in 2 years time, and what I want this year. And then some of it is just like, they're things that I want, but it would be nice to have, but they're not like, I want this by a set date. But I have things on there. It's like, by the end of this year, I want to achieve, I want to have, I want to be earning this much money. I want to be working in this sort of a place, or, I want to be owning this sort of a business. And, it's putting those things on there. I want to own this sort of house in, 5-10 years time, or I want to be driving this car, upsizing my car. That was one thing I had on my vision board a couple of years ago. And the funny thing was, I'd cut this, I knew what type of car I wanted. Like, I knew I wanted something that I could take off road. It had to have roof racks. It needed to be able to tow. It needed to be 7-seater. I knew what I wanted. And I kind of found this picture and I was like, oh yeah, that looks good. And I stuck it on my vision board. And 6 months later, I saw that car. And I didn't even know what the car was. All I knew it was a Subaru. I didn't even know what it was. And then I saw it at a car lot when I went past it about 6 months later. And I was like, oh my goodness, like that's the car on my vision board. But then when I looked into it, it was only a 5-seater, not a 7-seater. And so, but I was able to upscale my vision to a 7-seater, which I now have. Okay, so putting things on there, putting deadlines on there, you know, of what you want to be achieving or earning. There is a fantastic story about Jim Carrey, who had sat there at a low point in his career, and he sat at this mountaintop and he goes, by this date, I want to be earning $1 million from my first movie, like from this movie. Like, you know, I want to have my first $1 million movie or whatever it was. And he wrote a check out and he put a date on there. And I can't think of what the movie was, but he put it up there, you know, he kept it somewhere where he would remember it. And it was like in 2-3 years time or something. And then the day before that date he had put on that check, because he actually wrote himself a check for $1 million, you know, dated for whatever it was, end of, you know, 2 years time. The day before or the day of, he got his $1 million movie. When we set those intentions, when we set those things out, we have a clear path of where we are going. You need to be able to have those moments of just going, you know what, this is what I want. This is what I'm going after. And be able to see it, be able to dream it, be able to experience what it would be like to have those things. What would it be like to have that bigger car? I went from this tiny little, it was like almost the size of a Suzuki Swift, okay? And two of my kids are taller than me now, which isn't hard, I've been told, okay, because I am short. So the little car suited me, but it didn't suit my kids who were growing. You know, so I had to put it out there. I had to put it out. You know what? I need a bigger car that can fit my kids. I need a bigger car that can fit their friends in as well. You know, put it out there. Dream big. Allow yourself to dream big, and be specific about what it is that you want. Don't just be like, you know, don't be like, oh, I want a new car. What sort of car do you want? I knew I needed one that was going to fit my kids who are taller than me. I knew it needed to fit their friends. It needed to have a bigger boot space than I had. Okay, it needed to be 7-seater. I want to take it off-road so I can go camping. I want it to tow. I wanted to fit plenty of things in the boot. I knew how I wanted the seats to fold down. I didn't want ones who folded down, but they were still taking up boot space. I wanted them to fold into the floor so I could maximize my space. Like, be intentional, be like specific about what you are wanting. You know what, you want to, you're going after a career. What are you going after? What are you wanting to earn? How many clients or customers are you wanting to have? What workplace are you wanting to have? What, you know, be specific. Don't just be like, oh, you know, I'd love to own a house. What sort of house do you want to own? How many bedrooms has it got? Where is it going to be? Is it in town, out of town, big block, little block? You know, are you going to have animals? Allow yourself to envision it and feel it, and feel what it would be like to own it. Because when you can envision and feel what it would be like to own it, then you're going to be able to chase after your dreams so much easier. So let me encourage you, take a moment this week to envision what you would like to have. If you're a crafty person, pull out all those magazines or go to the op shop and grab magazines, cut them out, all the pictures that you like of the things that you want, get all the quotes on there, get creative with your quotes that are going to inspire you to keep going and to chase after your dream. Print out a blank check. I'm going to earn this much by this date. This is my goal. Okay, set it out there. Okay, if you're in a workplace and you're trying to get to a certain position, put it out there. I'm going to be at this position by this date. You know, if you've got fitness or weight loss goals, I'm going to be this sort of fitness at this level. I'm going to be able to achieve 10 push-ups, like full push-ups, you know, or 20 or 10 pull-ups, or I'm going to be able to run a marathon, or I'm going to lose 10 kilos this year, you know, whatever it is, put it on there, okay? Allow yourself to envision what you want, because at the end of the day, you deserve to have the things that you desire and that you want to go after, okay? So let me encourage you to do that. If you're not a creative person, get a book like this and put on there saying, you know, the year that it is, so 2023 for next year, if you're watching this down the track, put whatever year it is and go, right, this is what I want. This is what I want for my family. This is what I want for my work. This is what I want for my business. This is what I want for my studies. These are the sort of people I want to hang around. This is where I want to live. Like, put all those sort of things on there and let it branch out, okay? So you can see all the things that you are wanting to achieve for this year, okay? So have an awesome week. Next week, we're going to be talking about goal setting and how to, after you have put down the things that you would like to be able to, like what you envision for you, we're going to look at some 10-year, 5-year, 2-year, 1 year, and then break it down into monthly goals, okay? So have fun with that. Post up in the comments what you have done. Even send me some photos. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/wellness coach with Von. You can find me on Instagram. Yeah, send me some photos of what you've done. I'd love to see it. All right, take care and happy New Year's. Bye.